Why Indonesian girls are no angels. This is the topic of today's video, and here's the story. Many years ago, when I lived and worked in Hong Kong, I dated an Indonesian girl, and she became my first Indonesian girlfriend. And at the time, I was about 29 years old, and I was a player, I have to admit it. First time in Southeast Asia. I told the story in other videos. Hong Kong, the nightlife there, overwhelmingly amazing for single expatriate guys. An oversupply of young, sexy, beautiful Filipina and Indonesian women. So that was the setting at the time, and I met her in the entertainment district. She was not a bar girl or something like that. She was a domestic helper working in Hong Kong. And these girls work very hard. They have a tough life. I also talked about this in other videos. Low salary. Some girls don't even get paid their salary. They have to work overtime. They've been cheated, sometimes also physically abused by these Hong Kong people. Terrible stories I can tell you. And she, my girlfriend, was also suffering. These girls, they have only one off day, so they enjoy their time and trying to hook up with the expatriates also. Nevertheless, I was together with her for maybe a couple of months or something like that, and then suddenly she went missing in action, because we had contact every day. We sent messages, At the time there was no WhatsApp or something like that, but she stayed at my place, So we had contact every day, and suddenly there was no contact. I contacted her, there was no reply, no nothing. 1 day, 2 days passed, and nothing. And that was a little bit suspicious, and I was, getting worried. And around this time also, I got a phone call from Inda. And Inda was my girlfriend's best friend. That's what she claimed. So I don't know how she got my number. She contacted me. She called me and also asked me, hey, where is Yanti? Yanti was the name of my girlfriend at the time. And by the way, walking here in Jakarta, I forgot to mention this. Roaming around the city center, I have no clue where I am. I know where I am, but I have never been in this area. So I just try to find proper places where I can shoot the video. Anyway, so she contacted Inda, her best friend, my ex-girlfriend, my at the time girlfriend's best friend, contacted me and also was worried and asked me, do you know where Yanti is? I said, I have no idea. I'm also looking for her. And it was a very strange situation. It was really, I don't know, very, very strange, What happened? We didn't know. Now her best friend is contacting me, so something is really going wrong here. Anyway, so we decided to meet in a shopping mall in Hong Kong. So I agreed to meet Inda, and then we would discuss on how we would move forward with this whole situation. So I met her in the shopping mall, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but we decided to go to my place, to my apartment, because to discuss things further and what can we do to find her, our strategy. And yeah, at my apartment, and I figured pretty quickly that this girl Inda, my girlfriend's best friend, was pretty much into me, okay? And I told you already, I was a player at the time, 29 years old. I really enjoyed my single life. Although I had an Indonesian girlfriend at the time, I have to admit I was not really loyal, you know. And I mean, I've been together with her, I was loyal, but this situation with her best friend in my apartment changed the whole game. And it was a temptation, and long story short, we ended up, me and Inda, the best friend of my girlfriend at the time, in my bedroom. Yeah. And the rest is history. So, and that's the story. That's why I'm claiming that Indonesian girls are not angels at all. You know, these are girls like any other girls. They have their desires, impulses, longings. They also have their own personal agendas, for sure, plans, and they have selfish interests. Yeah? And if they know what they want, they get it and they go for it. And this is what happened in my apartment. She knew, Inda, my girlfriend's best friend, she knew, of course, and she knew exactly who I am. She knew I am the boyfriend of her best friend. Now her best friend was missing. She is in my apartment, and she took also advantage of the situation. You know, I'm not saying that I kind of slipped in the bathroom floor and then she landed on top of my dick. This is not what happened, you know. I don't want to excuse myself here, because I also, you know, was kind of tempted to take action, and we did. You know, we both agreed, we both wanted it, and no need to moralize here, I believe, right? No need to do that. So yeah, and she knew what she wanted, and she went ahead. So, and this is also the situation with these Indonesian women in Hong Kong, for example, in these places. You know, they're fighting very, very hard over expats sometimes, because they are looking for Western boyfriends, you know, and I think that was a pretty good situation for this girl Inda to really take action, to take advantage of this, you know. Anyway, just to quickly solve the matter here, what actually happened to my girlfriend at the time, because I said she was missing. Yeah, eventually I started looking for her, and out of all the police stations in Hong Kong, I don't know how many there are, but Hong Kong is a big place. At the time, over 7 million inhabitants. You know, it's a big territory. So I don't know, I met her in this entertainment district, so I figured maybe she is somewhere there. So I went to the police station there in Wan Chai in Hong Kong, in the entertainment district, and I went inside this police station, and I asked the officer there whether they have seen my girlfriend, whether they know where she is, maybe they know something. And lo and behold, the officer said, yeah, she's here in custody. I said, on one side I was relieved because I found her, but on the other side I was very concerned, because why is she in custody? Anyway, long story short, she overstayed her visa, and I don't know really what happened, whether she turned herself in to the police or she was caught by the police, because Hong Kong police also, you know, they're roaming the streets and checking girls, also in the clubs and the bars and the discos from time to time. At the time they were raiding these establishments also and looking for Filipinos or Indonesian girls who overstayed their visa, you know. So she was brought, my girlfriend was brought to a detention center, you know, and then she was awaiting detention pending deportation, you know. So she was like locked up behind bars, was not nice. I visited her in jail also, and then she was like, I had to pay the ticket for her back home to Indonesia. I talked to the case officer there, and they told me, you know, we have two options. You have two options, Marcel. Option number one, your girlfriend will stay here with us. She will then await trial a few weeks later, or even just a few months later. Or option number two, you know, you buy her a ticket for $150 and you get her out of here. Okay, I said, since she is still my girlfriend, you know, I will pay the ticket. That's what I did, and a week later she was moved out from Hong Kong. She was deported. Yeah. But again, back to the story of this video, why I say Indonesian girls are no holy angels at all. You could see this here very, very clearly, right? I know there is this stereotype about Indonesia. It's a Muslim country, it's even an Islamic country, you know. And the girls over there, they must be so prudish, you know. Maybe it's like in Saudi Arabia. And the girls, they don't do anything but sitting in a room and reading the Quran, you know. And this is not all the case. This girl Inda, the best friend of my girlfriend at the time, she was a Muslim girl also, but she didn't dress up as a Muslim. So these women also, I mentioned this already, have desires, you know. They want fun also. They are under a lot of pressure there. They also want to enjoy their lives, you know. Hang around with guys, with boys, have fun. Yeah, this is definitely the reality. That's the reality. But I also have to say that places like Hong Kong, of course, also offer quite a little bit a different environment for these girls. On one hand, yeah, it's a tough life there. The working life really is tough for many of these girls. It really sucks, you know. For some of them, it's really like going through hell, living hell. But on the other side, as I mentioned, they also want to enjoy their life, and they know how to enjoy their life, these girls. And this is what they then act out in Hong Kong. Some of these girls completely let loose, you know. They dress up sexy and they just want to enjoy their lives. And they cannot do this in Indonesia. This is true. Indonesia is not Saudi Arabia, but Indonesia is traditional, conservative. And my girlfriend at the time explained to me this whole situation, that she cannot dress up sexy in her village at home. She has to wear the hijab and long clothes and skirt and everything. And in Hong Kong, she walked around like a sexy girl, you know. So when these Indonesian women have the opportunity and the chance to kind of express themselves, then they will do it. And this is what they did in Hong Kong, for example. You know, they have more freedoms there, no pressure from their parents or relatives or social circle around them. And there's also no judgment, basically, and because they don't need to conform to any cultural norms or traditions like in Indonesia. So this is the difference to understand. This is my experience. Indonesian girls who live inside of Indonesia, and compared to Indonesian women who live outside of Indonesia. But nevertheless, also the women inside of Indonesia, they have their desires, their agendas maybe also, you know. They know what they want, and some of these girls are all in for an adventure, you know, for a romance. It doesn't mean they are sluts or anything like that. No, this is what I mean when I say Indonesian girls are no angels, you know. I mean, they are not devils either, but yeah, maybe some are bitches, but you have that everywhere, right? So all I want to say is basically, don't be afraid of Indonesian women. Get rid of your stereotypes, do some research, start dating these girls, start to get engaged with them, and you will see pretty quickly that these are normal women. Yes, traditional, conservative, and adhering to their cultural norms, especially when you date them inside of Indonesia. But you know, you will break the ice sooner or later with these girls, and these Indonesian women are very, very open-minded when it comes to bedroom things. This is my experience. They also enjoy it a lot. They like to have fun. They will have fun, and this is the thing you need to know about Indonesian women. And I think this is important information. Like I said, because even after doing so many videos and releasing them on YouTube, there's still plenty of expat guys, Western guys, who still have no clue about Indonesia. They carry these stereotypes in their mind. It's not their fault, you know, because who is really talking about these things except me on YouTube, right? In such a volume, kind of basically promoting Indonesia and also the women, because it's based on my experience. You know, I have interesting experience. I've had interesting experiences with Indonesian. I've talked about all this in many of my other videos, and it's also being appreciated a lot by many of my viewers, I know, but there's still a lot of work to do, I guess, you know. So instead of Thailand or the Philippines, come to Indonesia and give it a chance, try it out. Don't be afraid of these women. You don't need to think that you are not a Muslim, I'm not wasting my time with Indonesia. No, it's not like that. It's not at all. My girlfriend at the time in Hong Kong, she was a Muslima. Her best friend was a Muslima. So, just because these girls know how to enjoy their life, it doesn't mean they are bad girls or sluts or bitches or whores. No, not at all. I know there are some moralizers around, and some other guys maybe think, yeah, okay, there are like, I don't know, prudish Muslim girls sitting in the room reading the Quran, and if they are not doing that, then it's just the opposite. There must be sluts or bitches. No, it's not like this. It's not just like black and white, you know. Again, this is these are human beings, normal women with desires like Western girls have in Germany or in the States or in Canada, you know. And they also know how to play their game. This girl Inda, she knew how to play the game. She wanted to play the game, and I agreed to play the game, and we played both. You know, this is how it is with these girls. They're just, in that regards, also normal girls. You don't need to hesitate. You don't need to be shy. You know, consider Indonesia. Great girls. Of course, not only in the bedroom. You know, don't get me wrong. Those of you who follow me know what I'm talking about. You know. So that's the story of today. Why Indonesian girls are no angels. Yeah. They're not so prudish as you might be thinking, although they're very loyal women. If you are lucky and catch one, they are the most loyal women on this planet. I can tell you that. Yeah, but there are no angels, you know. But also there are no devils either. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Leave me your comments. Do you have experiences with Indonesian women? Yes? No? You have good ones, bad ones? How was your experience? Are you fed up? Have you tried it? Are you still carrying these stereotypes in your mind? I don't know. Let me know. And I'm checking out here from hot Jakarta. I'm gonna go eat something now in this mall here. It's called the Tamrin City, Tamrin Mall. And I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care, bye bye.